Okay, let's take a look. Um, yes, so this is looking very poor at this point. The idea of the assignment was to very carefully do each pose. And on each pose, you were meant to, let's take a look in Maya, you were meant to adjust every joint, like every finger joint, for example. Um, just turn this off and just turn the curves on so I can pick this. So I'm just going to delete the keyframes off of here and, you know, adjust the hand joints and the elbow and, you know, the shoulder, you know, and maybe you want to make some small adjustments even to that, and the waist, you know, maybe he's slightly turned this way, and the head, and you know, every single thing you should be paying attention to, and really look at the whole pose for every single pose. You don't just make like a few tiny adjustments and then call it done, you know. And he's just kind of sliding across the floor. The other thing, and this one kind of really makes me crazy, is that you've animated the main control. So just wanted to point out um, in the discussion area that I put a topic here. Don't animate the main control on character. Please read and watch. And here it shows you, it says, when you start animating your character in assignment 10, please don't animate the main control. It is the circle at the character's feet. You can use it to place the character in its starting position and scale it, but don't set keyframes on it and don't use it to move the character around. The video below demonstrates. If you do, you will end up having to redo most of your animation work. This video explains what I mean and why, and then here's the YouTube link that shows you the whole thing. Also, if we look at the messages I've mailed you, if we look at the sent messages that I've mailed you, don't animate the main control on the character. Please read and watch. And so I've messaged you a message and put in an announcement and made a video and sent you the video telling you that you should not animate the main control. And if you read this and if you watch the video, it explains why not to animate the main control. And as a result, you're going to have to redo stuff. So don't animate the main control. That is the circle at the feet. That is this thing. You should not be moving this after it's placed in its original position. Don't move this. Don't move this circle. Leave that circle where it is. You can use that to put him in a starting position, but don't move it and start keyframing it afterwards. I will delete the keyframes off of here, and then you can move forward like that. If you want to move the character, you move its root, that is the thing with the arrows, and you can move the feet, okay? But you don't want to animate this. You don't want to set additional keyframes on this. You don't want to move it and keyframe it. So you just, and what you have here, there's no real poses. You didn't take time for the poses, so that's not useful. Let's now look at the character rig problems. Okay. So let's take a look. Window, General Editors, Component Editor. And you can see that the weight is spread out over many, many objects. We can try to hammer skin weights and see if that helps. It does seem to have help a little bit. Let's try that with a bunch of these. Okay. And now let's test that, see if that solved it. It's improved it, it hasn't completely solved it. What I might now do is select a lot of the points of his face, and do prune skin weights, skin, prune small weights options, and have it anything below 0.1 it will prune. And let's test that now. Okay, so that's working now. Is his jaw working? Yeah, his jaw's working. Okay, so I'll save a version of this in case you want that. Let's call it 2. Just let me know if you want that file, but that should be pretty easy to fix. So the main point is, don't animate the main control, but also really take your time with each pose and look at your reference and look at the image and see where the chest is and the shoulders and the elbow is, and really lovingly sort of almost sculpt each pose with these controls. Don't just move a leg and a foot and call it done. You really have to take your time with each of those poses. Also, I don't recommend doing a walk. I would just focus on the end part and don't try to do the walk. It's probably too complicated for the time we have in this class. So I think you better to do like a performance. I mean, you could take a step maybe, but don't try to walk across the room.